Hi, everybody. Welcome to this another edition of 49ers Live, a special edition of 49ers Live. Professor B here in the studios here in San Francisco on this late December day. How you doing, man? Glad you could come on this late December day, December the 30th, the next to last day of 2025. So glad you guys are tuning in on Niners on our platform, Niners Radio 49. Check us out on youtube.com/ at Niners Radio 49. Let me get this up, get that heading up. Here we go. There it is on the screen. If you click on, you can catch all the content on Niners Radio 49. We got a busy one on today. It's a short week. In case you don't know, the Niners and Seahawks is being bumped into the Sunday. That will be Saturday night, not Sunday. That will be on ABC, ESPN, part of the second half of a doubleheader, and we're going to in addition, we'll give you the full update of what's going on around the NFL playoff picture. Niners and Seahawks, they're in the second window for that ESPN ABC doubleheader on Saturday. Lots of stuff going on. We'll break down the playoff picture, not only just for the winner of this game, NFC champs out, NFC West champs outright, best record in the NFC outright, and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And the Niners are trying to do something for only the second time they have try to get home field advantage when they've hosted the Super Bowl. The last time, of course, the Niners in 1984 did that when after they compiled a 15-1 record during the regular season. And they ran roughshod. Their only loss was in Week 7 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But other than that, the Niners were perfect. And they took that 15-1 record, breezed through the playoffs with wins over the Giants and the Chicago Bears in the NFC Championship. Then 2 weeks later, they would beat the Miami Dolphins down at Stanford Stadium, about a half hour from here in the city where I'm at in the southeast part of San Francisco. About a half hour drive from where I'm currently living. You hit down go up on the Highway 101, take you all the way out down to Palo Alto in Stanford. That was the site of Super Bowl 19. If you can see that banner behind me, that was the site of the Niners' 38-16 win over the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl 19. That gave the Niners their second Super Bowl win in the past 4 years. So before we even, we're going to just take a look at what's going on in the playoff picture around the NFL. The Niners will just give you the Niners coming off that W on Sunday Night Football. You've seen on NBC, it was an instant classic. The Niners over the Bears, and they end up winning it 42-38, and Brock Purdy was humming. He was humming all night long at the Mecca. And he threw for 5 more touchdown passes. He's got 10 touchdown passes through the last 2 games, and he's playing some fire. I think this is going to continue on into the playoffs. So the one blemish was that pick 6 interception, but we'll when we have a chance, we're going to do Kyle Shanahan's from yesterday. They're going to be meeting coming up around at 3 o'clock, 3:10 will be the local time, and then the locker room will open around. And we're going to on our sister network, we will satellite digital media. We'll get some. We will. We'll get you some stuff. So we'll get some media stuff. Some media audio feed, or we'll have on our World According to Professor B on satellite digital media later this early this evening. But for Niner fans, this was a game of the ages. You could put this game like 6 years ago against Seattle up at the up at Lumen Field, formerly known as CenturyLink Field. That game that gave the Niners the NFC West and the number one seed. And now the Niners, what they have gone through, even if, worst case, if they don't get the number one seed, they're very capable to win 3 playoff games on the road. That would be the ugly duckling way. So we're going to on Niners Radio 49. We will just give you the go around for the NFL playoff picture. Again, you can check us out on youtube.com/at Niners Radio 49. And our sister network is Satellite Digital Media. That is the SDM, youtube.com/SDM News Network. You can also subscribe to that. Our goal is trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. So now we're going to go take a look at the NFL playoff picture, and the Niners are in it. We'll break down everything. We're part of the National Football League. So for the NFL, it's we'll just give you the preview of the Capitals for the final week of the 2025 Week 18 season finale. This is courtesy from NFL.com, .media/NFL.com, all the content. So 2 playoff spots for 4 division titles are on the line this weekend. Will be decided for Week 18. The Denver Broncos will come in with a 13-3 record. They're champions of the AFC West, their first division title outright in 10 years since their Super Bowl season a decade ago. They'll take on the New England Patriots, who also are 13-3. They're the AFC East champion. The Jacksonville Jaguars at 12-4 will take on the Buffalo Bills 11-5. The Jaguars' 12-4 record. Jacksonville is in Buffalo, and the Chargers. They've all secured AFC playoff berths. The winner of the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers are both at 8-8. Well, Ravens at 8-8. The Steelers, who fell in that controversial game on Sunday, fall to the lonely Cleveland Browns, who salvages their season. They end up they upset the Pittsburgh Steelers in Cleveland. I think the Steelers have lost, 5 out of 6 or 6 of their last 7 in Cleveland. They will play the game 272 for Sunday Night Football. This is a long-time rival, and this is in the 30th year of the Ravens franchise joining the NFL, since they then moved to Baltimore. It'll be Sunday Night Football, 8:20 p.m. Eastern, 5:20 p.m. Pacific. And that would be preceded by Football Night in America on NBC. That's 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, to determine the final spot in the AFC playoffs. The Seahawks, your 49ers, Chicago Bears, champions of the NFC North for the first time in 7 years. The LA Rams 11-5, the Philadelphia Eagles 11-5, NFC East champs, and the Green Bay Packers 9-6-1 have all qualified for the postseason in the NFC, while the winner of the NFC South in the fight will get the final playoff will be Carolina 8-8. Tampa Bay, who has really have hit the skids after starting the season at 7-2, they have lost 5 in a row, and they have lost. They have lost, I think, 6 of their last 7 games, or they've lost. They've lost 7 of their last 8. They will meet Saturday afternoon at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. That game will be on ESPN and ABC, and that's going to be the early window. The Bears and Patriots have won their divisions after finishing dead last in 2024. And this is the fun fact of the day. In 20 of the past 23 seasons, since 2003, at least one team had finished first in its division since after finishing last or tied for last. The 49ers and Panthers can accomplish that feat this Saturday in Week 18. 3 divisions, AFC East, the Patriots, AFC West, the Broncos, NFC North, the Chicago Bears, the new winner of this season, while 4 other divisions, AFC North, the Steelers, Jaguars, Panthers, Seahawks, each have a team in first place entering Week 18, did not win its division title last year. There have been at least 2 new division winners for 23 consecutive years between 2003 and 2025. Since divisional realignment in 2002, there have been 7 new division winners in a season, only once since 2011. 5 teams, the Chicago, Jacksonville, New England, San Francisco, and Seattle have qualified the playoffs after missing the postseason last year. Since 1990, a streak of 36 consecutive years between 1990 through 2025, at least 4 teams in every season have qualified for the playoffs after failing to make the postseason the year before. Carolina could join that team Saturday with the win. So we look at the for Week 18 playoff capsules. And we take a look. Here's Week 18. Let me just switch it right there. Okay, here we go. So here are the Week 18 playoff scenarios, and we'll start off with the main one, the marquee matchup, or we're going to start off in the NFC. Now in the NFC, the Seahawks have clinched a playoff berth. They're 13-3. Their 13 wins ties them for the best regular season finish in franchise history. If they were to knock off the 49ers on Saturday, they will set a new standard for the most wins ever in franchise history. 14 wins would be a new franchise record in the Seahawks' 50th year, observing their 50-year anniversary since joining the NFL in 1976. While the 49ers at 12-4 have won at least 10 games or more for the 5th time in the last 7 years. And since 1983, 10, 12, 15, and then you 15 plus 19 has 16, 17, 18, 19. For the 19th time since 1983, the 49ers won at least 10 games or more, 19 different times, or for the 20th time since 1983. They've won at least 10 games or more 20 different times. The 49ers are at 12-4. And with the Rams, with the Niners beating the Bears last Sunday on Sunday night, that eliminates the Rams completely, eliminates them from the NFC West race. And the Niners, even if they assured they could do, and with the Rams losing last night to the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football, the Niners assured themselves that they would be the number 5 seed in the NFC, at no worse than number 5 seed. Even if the Niners lose to the Rams, they'll finish with identical records. The Niners would hold the tie-breaking advantage over Los Angeles because of a better conference record. And then you look at the rest of the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles, who won back-to-back NFC East division titles for the first time in more than 2 decades. 2004 was the last time they won back-to-back. That was the first time since the Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb Eagles teams reeled off 4 straight from 2001 through 2004. That was a stretch, of course, from they won 5 consecutive years of making the playoffs. So they will be right now would be the number 3 seed, and still an outside chance they could move up to have the number 2 seed like they had last year. But we'll get to all those scenarios in a moment. And the Green Bay Packers the Packers will be the number 7 seed, and they clinched the final playoff spot with the Detroit Lions losing last Thursday on Christmas night, or Christmas Day, I should say, to eliminate as the Vikings eliminated the Detroit Lions. And boy, what a disappointing year for Lions fans, who last year had the best record in the conference, set a franchise record for most wins in a single season, and were eliminated by the upstart Washington Commanders. And the Lions are trying to avoid finishing in the basement in the NFC North. And the Bears clinched the number 2 seed with a win over the Lions. The Eagles could clinch the number 2 seed with a win over Washington, and a Bears lost to the Lions. And remember, the Bears have that tie-breaking advantage at 12-5. They have the tiebreaker right now because of their head-to-head win back on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, exactly a month ago. And then, so for the 49ers and Seahawks, 1 game, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on ESPN and ABC. The Niners clinched the NFC West title. The winner of this game wins the NFC West title outright and the top spot in the NFC outright. They will clinch the first seed, will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And that is simple as that. They'll have a bye week, and that's as simple. Same thing with Seattle. But we're going to go to this one. The Panthers in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this is... So this is, and it's going to be the early game at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. The Panthers could clinch the NFC South with a win or a Falcons win. They could win or Falcons tie, or Falcons win, correction, against the Saints. So the Panthers are in the driver's seat. They control their own destiny. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they do not. The Buccaneers at one point was 7-2. They've lost 7 of their last 8 and 8 of their last 11. The Buccaneers could clinch and they went from the one point had the best record in the NFC to now no longer they control their destiny. And even if they beat Carolina, that does not necessarily, will not guarantee them a playoff spot. The Buccaneers have just hit the skids. Todd Bowles is on the hot seat down in Tampa Bay. the Buccaneers would clinch the NFC South with a win over the Panthers, and the Falcons have to lose to the Saints. And the reason why, because if this was to happen, if the Buccaneers win, they go to 8-9. Carolina goes to 8-9, and the Falcons, who if they beat the Saints, they also go to 8-9. However, the Falcons have been already been eliminated from the playoff picture in the NFC. Because even though if the Falcons were to win, if it's a three-way tie, the Panthers would win the division. They would be declared division champs because of, I believe, a better common opponents tiebreaker, the fourth or fifth tiebreaker. The Panthers have the common opponents tiebreaker to fall back on. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if they don't get back to postseason, they'll look back on that bad stretch of football. Their defense was suspect all year. Their special teams was just horrible. So was the offense was just kind of times was inconsistent. And if the Buccaneers give this one away, if the Buccaneers do not get in, they'll shoot themselves in the foot all off season, and Todd Bowles could be on the hot seat down in Central Florida. So we're going to take this quick timeout. When we come back, we will break down the AFC playoff picture and so much more. Professor B here. We're here at the Satellite Digital Media Studios in San Francisco. You are watching 49ers Live on Niners Radio 49. We'll be right back. Welcome back to 49ers Live, a special edition of 49ers Live. Professor B here in the Satellite Digital Media Studios here in San Francisco. 49ers will be taking on the Seattle Seahawks for the NFC Western Division Championship this Saturday night, 5 p.m. Game will be on ABC, ESPN. Locally in the Bay Area, it will be, I believe it's going to be on KGO, ABC 7 in the Bay Area. We are going to... It's going to be a good one coming up this weekend on Saturday night. The Niners, will all the injuries get what they've gone through. Now just one victory away from winning the West and the road to Super 60 here in the Bay Area, which will be on February the 8th, on the second Sunday of February. Will run right through here all the way through Super Sunday. If the Niners keep on getting those W's in the playoffs, they'll have the chance to host a Super Bowl, will be a part of the Super Bowl, that them as the host city for only the second time in this long historic franchise. So we're going to now go in and take a look at the AFC playoff picture. And this is for week 18. We had looked at the NFC playoff scenarios. We're now going to go to the AFC. So you look at the AFC. Take a look at the So there you have it. And a reminder again, 49ers and the Seahawks, that will be Saturday night. That will be on ABC for the NFC West and the top spot for all the way through the playoffs. So we will. We are going to get ready to wrap it up for now. Stay tuned for on our sister network on Satellite Digital Media. We'll have the world according to Professor B. We'll give you the full playoff slate and Kyle Shanahan's press conference on our sister network on Satellite Digital Media, youtube.com/SDM News Network later on. I'd like to thank you all for watching this afternoon on this abbreviated edition of 49ers Live. Professor B, Niners, Seahawks for the NFC West title Saturday night on ABC in the Bay Area, and we should be good. And also, for all of you, thank you for all the keep your thoughts for Greg Papa. He had a little bit of a kind of a setback. Didn't call the game. Guy Haberman came in filling in for him, and a few others. We'll just keep your thoughts for Greg Papa and prayers. He's still battling with the chemotherapy. It's going to be a long road back. Hopefully, we hope he'll be back doing play-by-play for the playoffs. But this health thing is number one, and he's going to fight this this terrible, the awful disease. And also, yours truly, your host, celebrating his birthday yesterday, turned 49. 49 years young, and I feel great. And, that was a good way to get a Niner W on my birthday. So we're going to wrap it up for now, this condensed podcast on Niners Radio 49. I will talk to you later on our sister network, Satellite Digital Media, for the World According to Professor B. And on there, we'll give you the full slate of the playoff picture, and we'll give you what's going on around the NFL and some other news stories as well. For now, I'm Brian Professor B. Davis. Thank you for watching, and so long. You've been watching 49ers Live on Niners Radio 49. 49ers Live is an exclusive presentation of the Satellite Digital Media News Network. Check us out on our feeds on youtube.com/@NinersRadio49, where every team has a fan, every fan has a voice. The network home of champions. 49ers football, faithful to the Bay. Wish you a very pleasant good afternoon. And please, if you're going out this afternoon, please be safe. And if you plan to do any drinking, please don't drink or drive. Thank you very much. And enjoy the rest of your afternoon.